The cars which we are driving, the way we generate electricity, the chemical plants and refineries, all these combined produce a huge amount of heat in bulk quantity. Heat waves are being generated basically due to our societies and due to the various human activities. JPMC faced, like all other hospitals, I'm sure, the city faced an unprecedented heat wave last year. The MET office did not inform us previously, prior to the heat wave, and there were no early warning signs prior to the heat wave. We found out on the first night, which was Sunday night, 13 patients died in hospital emergency. All were brought dead. This was a situation far from normal, as so many people do not die in an emergency situation. And of course, the weather was very, very hot. So, the next thing we heard on television was that a huge number of people had expired and were brought to the ED morgue, where such a large number and percentage had never been seen before. It was Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, and people were fasting. And if you can remember, there were severe power outages in the city. Besides that, the water supply was short and people were fasting. So these were the reasons that added to the turbulence in the city. If a dead body has engaged an ambulance, it cannot be used anywhere else. For 5 to 6 hours, it kept circling around morgues, cemeteries, etc. Family members were roaming around trying to find a place to put the dead bodies at rest, but majorly could not find any place. There was a shortage of morgues in the city, plus grave diggers were unable to dig graves in respect to the amount of deaths. I believe the figures given, even by the government, of 1200 to 1300 deaths is very low. It was very stressing. Cars and ambulances were running short, and the hospitals did not have enough space for such a huge emergency. There was almost a mob near the ambulance stops and hospitals. People would call non-stop. Therefore, we received thousands of calls in a few hours. We did not have enough ambulances.
Army and paramilitary rangers have set up emergency camps across the city to help treat people and to hand out water and dehydration salts.
When we heard the name of the Pakistan Army, we left everything and rushed here because we were sure that the treatment and care would be better than anywhere else.
It's not just about the weather. Power cuts are common in Karachi.
For public awareness, we have started training our staff as what to do. We also have trained volunteers, including many scouts and non-profit organizations. We have contacted and engaged many such organizations so that in the future we can provide service on a larger scale. We are teaching them the symptoms and treatments for heat strokes, what first aid should be given before taking the patients to a hospital, and the necessary preventative measures like sprinkling water, what should be given to drink. We teach them everything. One should stay indoors if there is a heat wave. I think schools at these particular times should be closed because children are more prone to having heat strokes. The elderly, for example, they should not exercise and should wear loose clothing. If you have to go out in the sun, you should wear hats maybe and wear lighter colors comparatively. Stay in shady places and drink plenty of water to make sure. And then in the end, I would also like to advise people that there is a lot of deforestation in the city and we should start planting trees, which we should also nurture.
The Federal Minister for Water and Power has given a fantastic statement saying Karachi is not his mandate. Karachi is part of the Pakistan Federation and the Minister's responsibility is the whole of Pakistan. No part of the country is exempt.
That frustration is echoed on the streets. On Tuesday night, people in one Karachi neighborhood burnt tires to protest against another power outage.
PTA can be assigned by the Sindh government to send out messages free of cost on every cellular network in every language. Inform people beforehand of the timings of extreme heat so they do not leave the house. If you have to leave the house, put a wet cloth on your head and keep lemon water with you and simple water with salt. One should carry that as well. Emergency preparedness we do not have in this country. We have to activate our agencies. And the prediction is that in 2016 there will again be a heat wave. So we have to prepare ourselves. We have to tell people as it will come in the month of June, which is the holy month of Ramadan. It is very hard on a Muslim to survive that heat wave.